doesn't matter how much pain and effort I go through to actually make it, what is it going to do at the end for the end user? And that's how I tend to view all of my projects or whatever. But like when you got that in the bucket mentality, bro. Like I think people when they do that, when they start creating stuff or they start doing stuff just to make money, if it ain't making the money, I think that's why they start to bow out of it so fast because they don't understand that helping people or giving people entertainment or doing whatever to help other people, they don't believe in that, they don't understand that. So that's why whenever they start something, if it don't work within the first 20 minutes, they quit.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again at 4:30. We're gonna say 4:30 a.m. We're doing this for y'all because we love y'all. And before we dive in and get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for free for y'all because, like I said, we love y'all. So do that. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, because we're trying to do things out here, do big things out here. Usually at this point I would ask Mac how his week has been, but I was there with him in the trenches most of the week, so it was I ain't gonna say too bad. It was pretty chill. I ain't gonna complain too much.
Yeah, you weren't with me on the actual work week though, so it's,
It was like one day.
it's been a it's been a lot of chaos on the outside. So
Come on.
yeah, I don't know
You
if I
gonna
can really get into it,
oh
but
okay.
it's been a whirlwind of a of a year so far. That's all. That's I mean, I'm just gonna say that much. But yeah, man.
We talking about the 9 to 5, or we talking
No,
about?
hell no.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like, what? It can't be that crazy, is it? But all right. I mean, as long as you knocking it out, rolling with the punches and just sticking with it. I know
Yeah,
a
man.
lot
I'm
of
trying to do
people.
real work.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, a lot of people wouldn't even make it this far. A lot of people would have, you know, bailed out, quit, said it was too much, took a break, and then like they would be still on that break. They wouldn't get back into it. It was like, oh, I'll get into it next week when I feel like it, or when I feel motivated to do it, or when I have that special day, and I can make this large leap of accomplishments, or whatever nonsense people fabricate when it comes to their like careers, their hobbies. They kind of get into this mindset of like, I need this perfect week or this perfect day to do something or something like that.
I don't know, man. It's like people start businesses and like everybody half-assing shit, man.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing that got us here today. Like everybody is half-assing everything that they're supposed to be doing. Like you get the businesses and then like they making promises that they knew they couldn't even keep from the time they open the doors to the time they serve you. And like and it's not until somebody sit you down to have a conversation about what you're doing that you just like, yo, I didn't even realize that it was that deep. But it really is, bro. It really is. So like, here's what we here to talk about today, right? Um, so everybody know I'm part of the James River Writers the James River Writers organization, and that is pretty much a group of authors, literary icons in Central Virginia who come together every month, have a convention every year. Um, can't wait to be a part of that for the first time in October. Um, but we come together every month, and the last time we got together, I was told by one of the women who was on the panel when I was talking to her because I bought her book, and her book is called Brand the Author, Not the Book, and it's a workbook for authors, and if anybody who is motivated to actually create a literary work, whether fiction, nonfiction, a children's book, you might want to go ahead and get on this real quick because like this just this one little thing changed my life, like for real. Like I may not even need the book itself, like for real. I may not even need the book, but I bought the book anyway because this woman, when she was speaking to me, like nothing made sense more than you writing too much. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you should spend no more at any point in your career, you should spend no more than 85% of your time writing. And I was blown away. I didn't understand what she was trying to say. I didn't really get it. So like I asked her to break it down for me, and she was like, "No, hold up, I got this panel to do. Let's talk. Catch me after the joint, and we'll talk later." And like as she was talking, like I had already bought the book. Like it was a panel of her, my homeboy who I shared the table with at a few of the conventions. He was on the joint. He celebrated his 100,000 sales milestone. So he sold 100,000 copies of all of any selection of his books. So like kudos to that. The JC Carl, man, that dude has been doing this thing. Even though he told me that he out of the game, but he said something about that 100,000 boy, something about that 100,000 boy make him want to get back in. So like, success speaks volumes. I don't know. He said he won't motivated to write, but he said something about that 100K made him want to keep going. But anyway, I listened to the joint, and they were spitting some real bars, bro. And like every time this woman talked, like she was talking about this, but the whole conversation was geared towards things that authors put their invest their money and their time into. And like I was just blown away by this conversation, man. But towards the end, I caught up with her, chopped it up for a second, and she told me, she said like, look, for real, she pointed me to the page of her book. She was like, I saw you looking for what I was talking about. Here it is right here. It showed me the diagram that she did, bro. And it was like 6 months before you release your book. Like you supposed to be working on your book like the most amount of time, and then like that time decreases. And then like at the time that the book was released, at the time of release, there was no writing time in there. And I was like, yo, what? I was like, wait, hold up. that don't make sense though. She was like, I was like, wait, how are you not supposed to write? And she was like, look, answer me this real quick. If you're writing, like she was like, first of all, do you have a marketing team? I was like, no, I ain't got a marketing team. It's like, you do the marketing yourself, right? I was like, yeah, I do. I do the marketing myself. And she was like, okay, yeah. So do you have PR? Do you have a PR team? You got a PR group that you're working with? I was like, no, I ain't got a PR group that I'm working with. It's just me. Yeah, she said, yeah, it's just you, right? Mm-hmm. She looked at Alyssa. She was like, you do any of this for him? It's like, no, I do it for myself. She was like, oh, okay, so both of y'all are writers. Okay, yep, all right. So both of y'all are writers. Both of y'all are y'all own marketing team. Both of y'all y'all own PR team. So when you release the book, when the hell do you have time to write? I was like, I can make time to write. She was like, no. Because if you're writing, when is your marketing and PR team going to be out there on the streets for you, putting in the actual work? Because you put in the first part, now you had to put in the rest of the work in order to make it happen. Because nobody is seeing your work unless you're doing work. And the real work after you write the book is actually the marketing to get people to read it. So I walked away with a different perspective. But the problem with that perspective, the problem with her telling me that, it started making me see a lot of things in the rest of the world, because a lot of people do a lot of things, but they ain't following through on the whole process.
So would that be similar to how people are out here, and we've talked about this before, the entrepreneur, how they get into the mindset of, all right, I want to do this, I want to do that, and some might even do it, but they don't commit to it, or they're not finding out the right steps to even do it. They're just going off the top of the dome. They're like, uh, I'm talented in such and such field. I have this such and such hobby, but like, I'm only doing the fun parts. I'm not doing the hard things or the unknown things, or even trying to learn the unknown things.
Well, I think for the sake of the listeners right now, right, we should break down the difference between the groups, right? Because you got your entrepreneurs, and I feel like the entrepreneurs are just the dreamers.
Oh,
They the ones
true.
that just they hear somebody like you and I having a business conversation, and they come up and start spitting out their ideas. Or somebody who know that we on 100 episode 185 of the podcast, see we've been going for a minute, and they like they want to come and tell us their ideas all willy-nilly like it's cool or something. um I think the entrepreneurs are those people, like real talk. I think those people they fall into a little bit of a different category. So they not who with this conversation ain't for them. They gotta listen to a conversation about how to make a decision to start, because they ain't started yet. I think there's a group of people who has started, and this is the group of, like you said, they just doing it for fun. They doing the fun stuff, but they ain't necessarily doing the stuff that they don't like doing. Like, all right, so I think there's a difference there. So I think the entrepreneurs are the dreamers. So we're gonna leave it at that. So no, I don't think this conversation is about them.
Where I feel like you said, there would be like that step behind what we're trying to, the people we're trying to talk to now. I feel that. I feel that. Okay. Um. So, how did that perspective bleed into everyday life? Like, what have you been start seeing that like other people are doing in their everyday lives that kind of connect with that?
So I'm noticing that like businesses in general, right?
Uh,
They just half-assing stuff and they not fully committing to everything that they supposed to be doing. So like it made me think back on the t-shirt situation.
Mm.
I'm still mad about that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little salty. Um, I was thinking about that. I'm thinking about like how people operate, and like just the culture that we in right now. Like for whatever reason, like everybody is on that. We all do business, but we don't all do customer service.
Mm.
And like I want y'all to take that, like pick that up, right? Because if you in a business, if you in a business and you do something to make a living, how are you thinking you're going to make a living if you don't specialize in customer service? And I'm noticing that there's a lot of businesses out here that don't specialize in customer service. Like you don't care nothing about the customer. The only thing you care about is the thing that you're doing to make money. That's the only thing you focus on. So if somebody buys something from you, you like, all right, they bought from me, so I'm gonna move on to the next person. Like that, it don't matter if that person come back. It don't matter if that person got opinions. It don't matter if that person got feelings towards what you're doing. The only thing you worried about is that they gave you your money, and now you on to the next person, and you want to do the same thing to the next person. So like, for example, like I just realized, like, all right, so um something happened yesterday, and Alyssa made me mad because she pointed out something that I already knew, but I saw it, and like I guess the perspective switch when towards the city that we live in, right? So
Mm.
Petersburg, Virginia, for some reason, like we got two cars here, or Alyssa came into the relationship with her vehicle. I got a vehicle, then I got a motorcycle, right? So like property taxes situation came up, and Petersburg never sent me a bill, so I forgot about it.
Mm.
It's April, taxes due in February,
Mm-hmm.
so I forgot about it. I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I ain't like I ain't got the money to pay it. Like it's just one of those things. Like I'm busy, I got stuff going on. I
Yeah.
ain't really thinking about that, right? So yesterday, City of Petersburg sent me a bill and said that it was that my taxes was going to collections if I don't pay it by the end of April.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking at Alyssa looking at me. She pissed at me because I ain't pay it. I'm like, Alyssa, when was there a bill sent?
Yeah.
Where was this bill at? Like, did they ever send one? But Alyssa's car is registered in James City, James River,
And another
uh,
city or another area.
yeah, in another county up there,
Mm-hmm.
Williamsburg. They sent her a joint to the house, sent her an email notification, made sure like they got an email option, like
Yeah.
you can get email notifications. Bro, Petersburg don't even got email notifications.
Strictly paper.
Strictly paper.
Yeah.
You strictly paper, and then you ain't sending the paper that you supposed to send. So you half-assing it, and then you hemming somebody up. And I feel like, and personally, like I ain't quiet as a kept, bro. I feel personally that because when something goes past due,
Mm-hmm.
they hit you with a past due fee. So I feel like they do it on purpose so that they can
They can
get a
collect that.
past due fee out of you, so they can
Yeah.
extort more money out of you, bro. So like that's one of the things that I noticed. That's like a grand scheme kind of situation, but like I feel like there's businesses all around here doing the same exact thing, bro. Because you got businesses out here trying to extort extra money from people for stuff that they're not even giving you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like it's like what can you do in situations like that? Uh and kudos to the people that stay on they P's and Q's, that go that extra mile to because some people they would be calling, be like, hey, I know that there's supposed to be a bill, but like you said, like you were busy, you have things to do, like things took priority over that. And if there was no notification, like how could you have known, right? Unless
Right.
you were on top of it. But uh, that's kind of a gray area, because like it's a difference between you knowing and you paid it, and like you not knowing and like it it just didn't get paid. Like there should be a
I'm just talking about the corporation right now who
that's
was
true.
supposed to and especially the ones that demand something from you, but they don't ask for it.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
almost like it's almost like you signed up for Factor, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Factor's supposed to send you your meals, and like every month on repeat, like on whatever day of the month, like say the 12th of each month, they supposed to send you your meals, and
Mm-hmm.
everything is supposed to work out beforehand. It's like you got your like the busiest week coming up, right? And they just straight up, something happens to your card or something, and they say, like, say you get a new card, a new debit card or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it messes up your payments or something. It's almost like if they don't tell you at all that something is wrong with your payment, don't get you no
No
prior
notification. Yeah.
notification, and then you just 1 week don't get no meals. Bless you. You don't get no meals all of a sudden, and you like, yo, what happened? And then you go into the app and it's like, oh yeah, your card was declined.
That's crazy you mentioned that, because like I don't know how to cancel that drink, and I'm like I've just been like skipping boxes like each week.
Oh yeah, that's user error.
I'm like, I don't see no
I will get
cancellation in process.
I will get on the phone with the motherfucker if you ain't got a cancellation button.
I was like, yo, this is a setup for real. Like, and it's no way to like group skip, like just stop sending me boxes. There's no way to just like do that. Like you have to do it week by week by week. It's strange as hell. But I see your point. Like there's companies out there that are just like, I ain't gonna say they're corrupt, because some of them have a good cause, but like there's a there's a area or a group of people, certain companies kind of target or prey on for situations like these. Like if you're going through it, there's about like 100,000 probably other people that have been through the same thing. Like you can go on any social media page and type in your situation, and you'll probably get like a long receipt list of just people talking about, oh, how this company did me this way, how this uh service did XYZ. And it's like they only do it because they know they can get away with it. No one's holding
Yeah,
them accountable for it, like we talked
yeah.
about on the previous episode. And it just makes a corrupt domino effect. Like it just keeps happening because no one is gonna correct it.
Hmm.
It's crazy because like what can you do, like, other than you know uh go through it once, and then now you got to be on guard for like the rest of your life, or for the rest of your time dealing with that company. You have to like just keep that in the back of your mind, like uh now you're paranoid, or what's the word, uh I guess you could say paranoia, or uh 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 some type of phobia, some type of fear, or something. Like you're scared of going through that moment again. So now it's haunting you. There we go.
But I'm going to say skeptical.
Skeptical. Well, yeah, that too. Because now you're
I was
going
just going to say,
into every situation, just thinking of that. Like, oh, this company is going to do me like this company, or this
well,
service.
I wouldn't say it like that. I would just say like you just go in cautious of the dangers.
Okay.
and you just be mindful of it. Like it's just hard not to think of things like that when you're doing business with people, bro.
Yeah.
And then like, and this ain't even just about companies in general, bro.
Mm.
This is about like some of the people that we know,
Yeah.
like just people in general. Like yo, so like people just they say they want to do things and then they start on stuff and like there's really no execution in the back end. Like
Or
I
they
got
looking for they looking for the easiest way or the shortcuts to do things, and then
yeah.
they they tank their business with these shortcuts. And now if they are doing it, or if they are uh executing, it's like the t-shirt guy we dealt with, or the guy that we were trying to work with uh when we first started this thing. You get a lot of those people that, like you said, they want to do something, but they're not in it. They're not in it fully. They're not doing it to the best of their ability. You'll even have people that'll get on, or act like they want to get on, and then they shoot you down with every suggestion you have for them. They're totally on the fence. They're trying to downplay everything you bring to the table or whatnot.
Yeah, I was mostly thinking about like some of the folks that I've talked to in
Mm,
the past about like I got some people who say they want like books written,
mm,
but they don't want to write the book. They don't want to put any energy into writing the book. The only thing they want to do is get somebody else to write the book for them. So they come talking to me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I can help you get it started. But
mm,
like, what is this process going to look like? So whenever I start breaking it down, what we need to get done or what need to be accomplished, just like they kind of bow out. It's like they just straight fall off. It's like, uh, okay, yeah, we don't need to talk about that anymore. And there's not even and here's the crazy part about it, right? It's never a conversation that we just need to stop having the conversation. We just stop having the conversation and just act like it didn't happen. I'm like, how does that work, bruh? Like you just straight up just like, all right, so it's almost like me coming to you saying that, all right, we need to do a podcast,
mm,
or like imagine the conversation going like this, Mark. Hey, Mark, I know you said you wanted to start a podcast. I started a podcast before. Maybe we should get together and start a podcast. And then I say, be at my crib on this day, on this time. Let's go ahead and record on this day, right? And then
mm,
you come around and we record, or you come around and I start making excuses uh about the podcast, or like what to do and how to start it and how to record it and what we gonna get into after the fact and how it's going to transpire and all this other stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like you just like or like I'm just like I don't know if I want to do all that, and then we just never record the podcast. So you asked me the next week about the podcast, and I'm just like yeah. I never give you a time and date to come back. We never talk about it, and then you ask me again the next week, and I just change the conversation. It's like I win you off asking me about the podcast, and then all of a sudden we don't talk about the podcast no more. Like, but it's like something that you say you want to do, but then all of a sudden, like we gotta pretend like it just didn't even come up in conversation.
mm. Yeah, that's crazy. What do you even call that? Like that. Now that you said it, I noticed. Yeah, like people do that for some strange reason. Like they have all this hype about talking about something, but then when it falls apart or it doesn't go through or they don't act on it, it's like it never happened. And some people even get like mad defensive over it. And I'm like, but this is something you said you wanted to do. We done did the hard part. We done got the information. We done got the tools. We done got the things you need to do to start the board. But you don't want to do it. Like, did you really want to start the thing, or were you just like talking out the side of your neck? When you said all those things, like, yeah, yeah, people can be real phony sometimes when it comes to situations like that. Like, they can talk all day. We said people can talk all day, but when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to executing, it's like it's a whole new ball game. It's like you in a boxing ring, and you've been practicing, you've been training all your life, but like you don't want to go up against the big guy that is gonna move you to your next match. Like,
Mm.
you scared to get hit. Like, but that's boxing. Like, you get hit and you throw more hits.
I
And you
got you.
go
Hold on
until
one
you can't
second.
go
Let
no
me
more.
let me let me fix that for a second because I
Alright.
like you were there, but and I got you,
Mhm.
but here like it's like you got this whole elaborate boxing career, but you
Mhm.
only fight dudes who are the same size as you or smaller
Oh.
than you. You
Mhm.
undefeated. You undefeated. You done went 38-0. You went 38-0, but you only fight dudes who you know you can beat.
Mhm.
Or somebody say that in order to be one of the greats, in order to be considered one of the greats, the thing that you had to do is fight somebody who is 38 no.
Mhm.
So you out here fighting people who who 4-36. they they 2-48. Like you out here fighting folks who just getting mopped. What they're getting mopped in the boxing ring. Like they just getting straight mollywop on a regular basis. And like they don't even have the confidence to even stand up to you because of your 38 no. Like, and
Mhm.
for real, you might have came in on a lucky trip and accidentally won your first fight. And then you just gained confidence and you kept on going with that. And then you became the dude who 38 no. Now you got false confidence, but you never fought against a real fight.
Oh.
You never even had a real fight. So somebody tell you that you gotta yeah, all right, now you already proved that you got the vanity going on. You look the part,
Mhm.
but can you really be the part? Your next opponent, he went 42-0, and he bigger than you. And we know why we absolutely know why he went 42-0. You on the other hand, you might have you just got confidence. Like you just
You've
cocky.
been scraping the bottom of the barrel. Hey.
Yeah, you just cocky. You got confidence. You psychologically defeat your opponents before you get in there. This guy, he actually throwing hands. He throwing hammers, cars, like he throwing hawk fists, everything. Like this dude, we know for a fact he got what it takes. Do you? So like, yeah, there's that, man. Like you out here playing the little dogs, the little dudes on the streets, the munchkins, but you ain't out here fighting the real fight.
Hmm. And that kind of connects with I think what I was saying earlier about like how those companies they prey on the weaklings. They prey on the people that'll fall into those categories of those situations that we explained at the beginning. Um, but yeah, like a lot of, I mean, there are a lot of companies, but they're few. There are only like a few companies that are gonna go the extra mile and actually do the customer service. Like you said, they excel at customer service. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you go to their reviews, it's nothing but like 4-star reviews. Like there's nothing below probably like a 3. If there
Right.
is, it's probably like, somebody just deliberately being a dick about something small, like minuscule. Like, oh, I got this phone case, I ordered this shirt or whatever. It wasn't the right shade of blue. It was baby blue instead of turquoise or something. Something minute, like just completely irrelevant. Like you still got the shirt. It was nice size, it fit well, it was comfortable, but because it wasn't the right shade, it was
Bruh,
just a percent of a shade off. You throwing a fit. Uh,
bruh. All I'm saying is,
mm-hmm,
and like this is the bar that broke all bars right here, bruh. People in human nature, bruh, psychologically,
mm-hmm,
and I don't know how it worked. I don't know what contributes to this, but people will buy from a company even though they don't need the product if the customer service is good.
yeah.
Somebody
Ooh,
come to you,
ooh,
somebody
ooh.
come to you and they fulfill all your needs. You don't even need the product. But that customer service, if that customer service is good on top, you buying the product. I see it happen
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Somebody just like, yo, I didn't even know I needed this. Yo, it used to happen. It used to happen when we were at the conventions, man. Like how I talk to people. People were just like, yo, like like the one dude who came back, he was like, man, I just wanted to let you know, man, I don't even read sci-fi like that, but like when I came to your table, you made me feel human. You made me feel real good at this table, like, and I just wanted to let you know, thank you for that, and keep up the good work. Like, yo, some of y'all out here, y'all not, yo, you don't care about the heart of the people who you reaching out to. You
Mm-hmm.
just reaching for their pockets. You just putting your hands straight in their pockets, bro. You're not reaching for their chest what his heart is. Like you don't care about the heart of the people who's supposed to pay you, right? Like Warren Buffett said it already. Warren Buffett said the when you can help people, people will pay you. And if you plan on being rich, you're gonna have to help a lot of people. So, but for whatever reason, people got the game twisted and they thinking they supposed to help themselves. And I and
Mm-hmm.
I and I'm pretty sure like I can't speak one way or another for it because I ain't really been in that part of the community like that, even though, I got rich friends and stuff. But for real, I want to say, and I really do feel like it's just the environment, bro, because like people at the bottom, they feel like they still scraping at the bottom. So like therefore that crab in the bucket mentality even bleeds over into
Yep.
people who trying to be entrepreneurs. And like when you in the bucket and you not standing at above the bucket or outside the bucket, the only thing you know how to do is reach for people's pockets, bro. You just like a criminal. The only thing you doing is stealing from people, and like you don't care about your product. You don't even care. You don't even care about the product that you selling. So therefore, when somebody who don't care about the product that they selling, they can just come up with anything. I don't need to be passionate in this. I'm just trying to make money. I'm just trying to hustle. Like for real, you just trying to reach for people's pockets, bro. Like and I feel you. I understand you. You just wanna make a living, but bruh, you gonna have to help people. If you're not providing anything, if you're not providing value, you can't expect to make money.
Yeah. Yeah. The million, the $1 million mindset or the $1 million formula is that, like, you can't make, uh, I mean, you can make money without that, but like, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna be a a residual income coming in. Like, you're gonna have to keep performing each and every day to make your dollar. With that person, with that business that is for the customer, they gotta do it one time for each and every customer, and they got them hooked. Like, really, they
Thank
just
you.
gotta
Yep.
they
There.
just gotta do it one time for a few people, and then like you said, because customer service is so good,
Yep.
they getting more and more people just for helping out one person. Because there's so many corrupt companies, like we were mentioning. There's so many business. We have a lot of examples. There are a lot of stories about businesses, getting over on people, and when there's finally a breath of fresh air, when there's a company that provides that breath of fresh air, people are owning it. People are sharing, like, hey, Facebook, Instagram. Hey, this such and such company. I was so grateful for them. They
Yeah.
even though like they messed up my order, they sent it back and got it right or
Oh, it's
whatever,
okay. It's
right?
okay. I'm willing to wait 6 months for that.
Right, and people would be they'll pay for a product
You
knowing that
trust me
it
twice,
won't
that's fine.
come. It won't come for like months later. Like they, like you said, they don't even care about the product. They just want to do business with that company because it's so great to do business with that company, right? And it's like that's how we should treat each other. That's how if we're gonna start any career, any business, any hobby, like that's what we should be looking towards and looking forward to do. Like if
Yeah,
you're in music, like make
yeah,
music that would speak to people, not music that's similar to other genres, other stuff that's already out. Don't
yeah.
like sample like 90% of your song and then only have like 10% of like original
Yeah, you a
content
cover
or
artist.
something. Yeah, right.
You a cover artist.
If you like, making a video game, like don't have like stale pictures or like the UI is terrible, the interface is all janky, like you can't find stuff in the menu correctly, like make something that tells a story. Even when you're writing a book, like make it so it connects with people. It inspires them to do something new or inspires them to think a certain way or something. Make people feel good. Make people move in a certain direction that they would either want to go in or would inspire them to lead people in.
Yeah, man. All right. So like I digress for a second. Like if a video game UI is trash, bruh, especially if you got to be in the UI for a long period of time, like
Mhm.
throughout the game, like bro, I do not want to play it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't
Right.
gonna lie to you. Like I remember Kingdom Hearts, bro. Like Kingdom Hearts had a
Oh,
stupid UI. Like there
oh.
was no, it was like non-existent, but like you didn't really interact with it throughout the
Mhm.
game, so it was cool. But like imagine that UI that like that as minimalistic as it was, but you had to deal with that minimalistic UI and throughout the gameplay, bro. I would no, I would lose my goddamn mind. I wouldn't even nah.
I'm glad
Anyway,
most of that was like auto, like it did it by itself. Most because like looking at that thing with the whole the list and the moves and the combo janks, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get back to the game.
I'm gonna get back to the. I'm
Like,
gonna get back to mashing the X button. I
right?
do get back to mashing the X button. It's just the whole game. You just mashing the X button. And like even we was talking about video games, man. I ain't even gonna go there, bro. Cause like there's so many video game companies out here who just making games because they know you're gonna buy it. They don't
Mhm.
care. They don't care nothing about the contents of it. They just making it because they know for a fact you about to put your money into it. Like, and that's the thing. Like, for real, that stuff makes me do what I do even more because I know for a fact that there's people who want more, and these companies are not giving them the things that the people want. So like
Mhm.
you got companies out here like it's a big like here's the like one of the biggest differences, right? Because you got companies out here who they on their own boards online. They're on their own forums. Like they got the people on there complaining and they got people working for them who's like taking this stuff down and these companies taking these complaints into consideration and these companies are making tweaks like bruh for real like everybody criticized Sega and DreamWorks for not DreamWorks what company made the Sonic movie. Everybody criticized them for that. But like yo, the most respect go to the company willing to pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to satisfy a customer, bruh.
True. True.
Real
Yeah.
talk, like yo, we criticized it so bad when it happened. Like yo, it was funny. Like yeah, it was like Sonic. I can't imagine the version of Sonic that they had at the beginning being a part. Like I seen both movies. Like I can't imagine it. Like it just don't make sense. The dude had knees. I just don't understand why that happened. But anyway, I don't get it. But yeah, his little teeth and his little eyes when they wouldn't have cut it. But bro, can you imagine how Tails and Knuckles would have looked if they did that?
Oh my god.
But anyway,
Abomination.
man. Anyway, um, but yeah, kudos to them, bro, because Sega was like, "Yo, did y'all see the response of these people on Twitter? Twitter alone destroyed them, and they would have not made their money, or well, maybe they would have. I don't know. Like
Mm.
people could have still went to go see the movie,
Yeah, you still
but they
have
just
diehard
weren't
Sonic
satisfied.
fans.
Yeah, they just weren't satisfied with the result of the crowd, like how the crowd responded to it. They weren't feeling it. They was like, "Yo, we gotta pivot." It's like we could still be successful. And I bet you there was somebody who was still thinking like, "Yo, we gonna just put this out because we already finished it. So let's go ahead
Mm.
and put it out anyway, and let's just be done with it." Nah, they was just like, you know what? Let's fire that guy because he trash. But we're gonna have to redo this. Like, but sir, it's gonna cost this much. But I don't care. We're gonna have to redo it. Did you see what the fans said?
Mm.
Did you see what the fans said? And then they came back for a second movie.
Yeah, yeah. And like you see that a lot in the video game community or the entertainment community, the movie industry or whatnot. Like you'll have those certain companies that will listen, that will sit there and listen and
Right.
actually either postpone something or make the tweaks, or you know some will even shout out the person that helped them get to the final product, right?
Oh
And a
yeah.
lot of other yeah, yeah, especially in the gaming community, uh and like they'll put their name in like the credits or something like that, or so they'll
Oh, okay.
acknowledge them in some type of way. um
Uh.
but like then you have your other companies that, like you said, they'll put out anything, just because they know uh people will buy it. They'll start those forums on Discord, or they'll have those little chat groups or whatever, and
Mhm.
they'll start them just to say they start them, or they'll start them up to get some type of feedback, or to get people on, get people hyped to buy it, and then instead of like keeping up with it, making the community feel welcomed and all this other stuff, they'll half-ass it, like either before launch or like after launch. They're like, well, we did our part. And they won't even tell the people. They'll just ghost them, ghost the whole community. They just like,
Wow.
we did our part. Here's your product. We're gonna move on to the next jank.
Yeah.
And then now this company has this bad taste in the people's mouth. Like with that mentality, like people don't even look forward to that next game. Like people that do the reviews or whatever, they're like, "Oh, such and such company is, they releasing the game, but we all know how they like to do.
I don't know how that's
Uh,
gonna go.
expect to get paywall. They expect to get bombarded with the gotcha game styles, the gambling systems. Get
Hmm.
ready to spend your money because they're gonna milk you dry and all this other stuff. But then you have your companies like whoever makes I think what Bungie with Destiny. Destiny 2 has been out for, or Grand Theft Auto. That game has been out for a good little minute, and there's still people playing it. They're still
Right.
improving on it. Just one game, not multiple
Hmm.
games, just one. And it's like you see that people are satisfied, are content with you making one game, and you continue to improve on it. You listen to the people. You there's an audience for it. So why like cut the people off and be like, all right, we're gonna keep giving you garbage upon garbage upon garbage upon garbage. Call it
Right.
a new
Yeah.
game, but it's the same thing from the previous jank. You just added a new skin or a new whatever, you see that there's a formula that works that works really well, but you don't act on it. You do your own thing, which is garbage. You half-ass it, and
Mm-hmm.
you give the people total crap and get crap in return. But because that crap is making money, you continue feeding people crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that goes back to what you said, like nobody's holding anybody accountable. Like
Mm,
I can't
yeah.
imagine like somebody being in a community of people who do the same thing and like they just like look at it and just like, yo, you so we really thought this through. We good with this. This is we good. This you good with this? Like you just gonna let that fly? Like I, no? Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yep. Nope. That's how you want to handle it. I can't imagine like nobody not having that conversation, man. Like I just can't see it. Like for real. Like I when when I talked to that woman who gave that to me, like that
Mm,
information about how I'm writing, like I like, bruh, she could have just easily was just like, you know what, um, I'm gonna let you do you. Like y'all writers, like you just do you. I don't care, like whatever. But like, yo, even then, bro, when we was having a conversation and I was like having a hard time grasping the concept of it, she was
mm-hmm,
like, you know what, like, and we ain't talking about somebody who just like they just decided they were gonna write a book too and just kind of marketed joint and just like threw it out there. Like this is a woman who she already got skin in the game. Like this is
mm-hmm,
a woman who got things going on already, who's made a few $100,000 off of her work already and owns her own marketing company. She was like, you know what? I see you having a hard time grasping this concept. Here's my card. If you ever have any questions about it, call me, let me know. We'll set up something and I can talk to you personally. Like for real, like I was just like I was blown away. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Like this isn't realistic. Like for real. Like there's nobody keeping you accountable to the things that you are supposed to do, then you probably need to change your circle. Like I'm just being straight up with you. Cause like we gonna call it out regardless. If I gotta deal with you, if you do some screwy stuff to me, I'm calling it out on the podcast. I'm just saying, this it's gonna get aired out right here. Like so, and we probably a Yelp review or something like that. Actually, I don't do Yelp reviews, so um, I'm a cancel that. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna refer back to our what do we call that? The meeting episode, or us coming together and iron some things out. Talking about how we felt about a certain situation that we had went through. Uh, saying that we're not perfect. Things happen. Misunderstandings happen, but we still gonna stick with it and get it done. Like we gonna work through that. Like a lot of people would have had that hiccup, and like you said, they would have even went into that mentality of, oh, I had this bad interaction with my coworker, with my partner, and we could have totally shut this thing down after that. Like we could have went our separate ways. Like we could have all been, you know, just kind of excommunicated each other. And then like when we like come face to face, like not even talk about the podcast. People come up to us. So how the podcast going? Oh well, you know how podcasts are. They only last for, we could have had this long list of excuses, but instead of doing that, we're here. We're 185 episode 185. We still rocking this thing out. Uh, I kind of wanted to ask a question like, how does the person or the customer that is receiving the product from like the good or bad company, like what is your hope system looking like? Like how do you continue to buy crap and hope it's gonna get better for whatever company, whatever service? Like, do you think if I keep feeding money into it, if I keep uh because it's easily accessible, because it's mainstream, whatever type of excuse you have for it, if I keep doing this, it's gonna just get better one day. Like what is people's mindset when going through something like that?
Let's see. I think I can answer that, right? When we talked about the people being that in the bucket mentality,
Mm,
it's like people they scheme to get their money, and I think that's one of the reasons why. Because so, like nobody really cares about the end user, and I got
mm,
that term from Alyssa. She kind of said the end user one day on the podcast, and it kind of stuck with me, and it made me think about like what is this going to be? How is this going to be perceived at the end of this process?
mm,
Like it doesn't matter like the part of me making it. It doesn't matter how much pain and effort I go through to actually make it. What is it going to do at the end for the end user? And that's how I tend to view all of my projects or whatever. But like you got that in the bucket mentality, bro. I think people when they do that and they start creating stuff or they start doing stuff just to make money, if it ain't making the money, I think that's why they start to bow out of it so fast because they don't understand that helping people or giving people entertainment or doing whatever to to help other people, they don't believe in that, they don't understand that. So that's why whenever they start something, if it don't work within the first 20 minutes, they quit. So like you got somebody who ain't never thought about helping themselves or helping somebody else. They decide to start doing a podcast or something, and they get on the podcast and they start talking. They do about 5 or 6 episodes, realize they ain't got no views, and then they just like, you know what, I ain't doing this no more. Somebody who decided to make a food truck, they making what they want to make, and then they go out on the road and they don't get no customers. They don't really they don't care about how they in the black community giving people diabetes. That's why the black folks don't want no fried chicken and gravy at 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't understand that. So like they don't care. They don't inquire about the people that they're trying to sell to. So therefore, they don't make a conscious effort to keep those people in mind. Therefore, it puts them in a position where they're trying to do it for money and money alone. So when money don't come, they bow out because they don't care about the end user.
mm. Okay, okay. Uh, so pretty much like put in the work. Uh, don't be afraid to go and be above and beyond for like the end user, as you say, or the people you're selling to, or the people you're providing service for. Make them feel valuable, because if you have a valuable product and your product or your service brings value to other people,
Hmm.
you have as people would want to say, you have passive income. You have a never ending stream of income because one, your product is great, and two, people love your product, or they love your service, or they
Hmm.
love you, so they love your product because you're just so great with people, or yeah, your service, your company is just so great with people.
Right.
Uh that's it. Like plain and simple, that's it. For some reason companies just don't like to do that for some reason. I don't know why. They have all this money that like they could literally change people's lives, but because they're so money hungry, They cut costs. They shady with their employees, with their customers, and like the only people that are like truly benefiting from the company is the people that are all the way at the top, the creators, the CEOs, and like it just dwindles down from there. Like it just gets crappier and crappier until you reach the end user, or like I don't know, the bottom employee, the peon, as some people would say.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't fighting you for the last word today.
All right, we got 1 minute to the hour mark. We're basically at the hour mark. We're at like 59. Uh, but what do we have coming up, Mr. Mac?
So, um, I'm about done with this children's book now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting some last minute touches on some of the pages, and well, not last minute touches like I'm done with it, but I'm putting in some last touches before in the coloring process before I start going back and shading everything, and gotta look at everything, make sure that it's artistically sound or whatnot. But for the most part, bro, like the whole book is pretty much done,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be going into the next step. So we are talking about maybe 65% done at this point. So I'm a little excited about that. Um, but right now, man, that's all I'm working on, other than the the what am I? What's that? The book 5 that I was already working on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I'm fighting through it. Because once I'm done with that, I gotta jump back into book 1 and do the edits to that, and send everything up into the stratosphere, man. I think I got a grasp on where I'm supposed to be with all of this stuff now, man. So I'm uh I'm excited about the future.
Hey, that's what's up. Uh, I don't have nothing coming out yet. Still in the lab working. I did find some more tools that will uh help me out a lot. That will totally cut some time down on doing what I need to do. Will actually speed
Yeah.
the process up tremendously. Um,
Mm.
I've also been seeing how these new AI tools, how a lot of people they were afraid of, like, oh, AI is gonna take my job or such and such. But there's this group of people, um, they're not too flashy with it. Like they're not like promoting it. Like you can't. They kept this like low key, but they've been using like these AI tools to hold multiple jobs. You would see people with 2 jobs and think that's crazy, but these people have like 4, 5, like, and are excelling at each one of them. And it's like, yo, that's crazy. That is that's awesome though. But uh tools are being made out here. So the people that want to get a leg up, or people that want to continue being the best they can be, like learn from these tools, learn how to use these tools, and become like a specialist in them. So like you don't get left behind, or like you don't get overlooked because you don't know something or someone.
Or do get
But
overlooked. It's okay.
he said, "Oh, do get overlooked."
It's okay. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
We want people
'Cause
to
if you think,
succeed. We
As
want people.
if you believe, and the reason I say that is just like,
Mm,
if you believe that the world is supposed to change just because you uncomfortable with something, then just go ahead and just put your head in and just say it's over. Because like and like
mhm,
and I understand what you're trying to say, Mark, but
mhm.
like I ain't in the business of hand holding, bro. So like if you really feel like that, if you really feel like the world is leaving you behind, by all means, go ahead and leave it. Go ahead and sit back. Go ahead, continue doing what you're doing, but don't say that we didn't warn you when the virtual shit hit the fan. Because it ain't gonna be real shit this time. It's gonna be virtual because it's all AI now.
Facts, big facts. So this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast with Elephants Always Welcome. It has been me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. Before we leave out, please trample over that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends, family. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We do love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.